Welcome back to Throttle Future A. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of Suzuki's most charming and distinctive motorcycles, the 2026 Suzuki VanVan 200. This bike has always stood apart from the crowd, not because it's the fastest, or the most powerful, but because it carries a unique personality that few machines manage to pull off. It's a retro-styled, fat-tired, go-anywhere two-wheeler that blends old-school cool with just enough modern refinement to make it a surprisingly practical and fun everyday ride. The VanVan 200 has a cult following, and Suzuki knows that. For 2026, it returns with subtle upgrades, a refined engine setup to meet the latest emission standards, and a few comfort tweaks that make it even more versatile. This bike isn't designed to dominate racetracks or mountain passes. It's built to make you smile on every ride, whether you're cruising the beach, weaving through city streets, or exploring dirt paths on a weekend escape. Let's start with what makes the VanVan special: its design and personality. At first glance, the 2026 VanVan 200 looks straight out of the 1970s, with its retro tank design, big round headlight, chunky seat, and those signature balloon tires that give it a playful, offbeat stance. The styling screams simplicity and freedom. It's the kind of bike that draws attention not because it's aggressive, but because it's effortlessly cool. For 2026, Suzuki has introduced two new colors: a classic metallic Triton blue and a soft sand beige, giving riders a choice between sporty and laid-back vibes. The finish and detailing feel premium for a small displacement motorcycle, with a neatly contoured tank, chrome highlights, and a refreshed instrument cluster featuring a combination of analog speedometer and digital trip data for a touch of modern functionality. Under the seat, the engine remains the proven 199cc, air-cooled, single-cylinder four-stroke that's been refined over years of Suzuki engineering. It's not a powerhouse, but it's got character. Delivering around 16 horsepower and 15 newton-meters of torque, this engine prioritizes smoothness and reliability over raw numbers. The throttle response is linear and forgiving, perfect for both beginners and experienced riders looking for something relaxing. It uses Suzuki's advanced fuel injection system, ensuring efficient combustion, easy cold starts, and excellent fuel economy. Expect roughly 35 to 40 kilometers per liter, depending on your riding style. One of the VanVan's defining features is its fat tire setup: a 130mm front and a massive 180mm rear tire. These aren't just for looks, they completely change the way this bike rides. The wide tires provide superior stability on soft surfaces like sand, gravel, and loose dirt, making it a true dual-purpose machine. It's not a hardcore off-roader like a DR200. But the VanVan's fat tires and light steering make it incredibly confidence-inspiring on mixed terrain. It's equally at home cruising down the boardwalk, exploring countryside roads, or tackling that rough shortcut you'd normally avoid on a street bike. The suspension setup complements this versatility perfectly. With a 33mm telescopic front fork and a robust rear monoshock offering ample travel, the VanVan 200 soaks up bumps with ease. It's tuned for comfort, not aggression, meaning you'll glide over rough roads rather than feel every imperfection. The seat height sits at a manageable 770mm, making it accessible for riders of all sizes, and the seat itself is one of the plushest in its class. Wide, well padded, and perfect for long rides or casual two-up cruising. Braking duties are handled by a single 220mm front disc and a drum brake at the rear. While that might sound old school, it suits the VanVan's relaxed riding nature. The braking performance is progressive and predictable, and Suzuki's lightweight chassis helps keep things easy to control. The 2026 model also introduces an updated ABS system, which adds a layer of safety without compromising the bike's mechanical simplicity. When it comes to performance, the VanVan 200 isn't about chasing top speed. It's about the ride experience. It can comfortably cruise at 100 kilometers per hour, with the top speed hovering around 120 kilometers per hour. It's ideal for city commutes, short highway stints, and weekend rides where the journey is the real reward. The 5-speed gearbox is buttery smooth, and the clutch action is light. Another reason why this bike feels so approachable for new riders. Suzuki has also refined the ergonomics for 2026. The handlebar is slightly wider for better leverage. The foot pegs are positioned for relaxed posture, and the mirrors provide a clear rear view without excessive vibration. The lightweight frame and the curb weight of just 128 kilograms make maneuvering through traffic effortless. You can park it anywhere, turn it around in tight alleys, and even carry it up a ramp onto a pickup truck if needed. It's that light and friendly. In terms of technology, the VanVan stays true to its roots. Say it's simple and analog where it counts. The single-dial instrument cluster provides speed, trip, fuel, and indicator readouts, while the LED taillight adds a hint of modern flair. The 6-liter fuel tank might seem small, but with the VanVan's efficiency, it still offers a comfortable range of over 200 kilometers before needing a refill. Now let's talk about comfort and everyday usability. This is where the VanVan really shines. The combination of that soft suspension, cushion seat, and upright riding position makes it one of the most comfortable small motorcycles on the market. Long commutes, relaxed weekend rides, or beachside cruising, the VanVan 200 does it all with charm and ease. It's a perfect second bike for experienced riders and an excellent first motorcycle for beginners who want something stylish, reliable, and unintimidating. Suzuki has also focused on durability and low maintenance. The air-cooled engine means fewer moving parts, and the chain drive is easy to service. Routine maintenance is straightforward. Oil changes, chain cleaning, and occasional checks are all you need. It's a bike built to last, especially for riders who value simplicity and dependability over complexity. Now, let's touch on the price. The 2026 Suzuki VanVan 200 is expected to be priced around $4,999, or roughly PKR 1.7 million depending on market and taxes. That places it firmly in the affordable retro commuter segment, offering incredible value for a bike that delivers both style and substance. So, what makes the 2026 VanVan 200 stand out in today's world of hyper-naked bikes and tech-heavy machines? Its personality. It's a bike that encourages you to slow down, to enjoy the ride, to feel the road under you without the distraction of countless riding modes and electronic assists. It's refreshingly simple, authentically retro, and endlessly fun. Whether you're a beginner looking for your first motorcycle, a city dweller needing something nimble and light, or a veteran rider who just wants a no-stress, pure riding experience, the VanVan 200 checks all those boxes. It's more than just a bike, it's an attitude, a reminder that riding doesn't always have to be about speed or specs. Sometimes it's about connection, freedom, and simplicity. The 2026 Suzuki VanVan 200 continues to embody that spirit. Charmingly retro, effortlessly versatile, and built to bring joy every single time you twist the throttle. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's just being a VanVan, and that's what makes it so special. If you're someone who values character, comfort, and that unique blend of vintage cool with real-world practicality, the VanVan 200 might just be the most underrated motorcycle you can buy in 2026. That's all for today's full review of the 2026 Suzuki VanVan 200. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Throttle Future for more deep dive reviews, comparisons, and everything on two wheels. Until next time, keep your throttle steady and your ride smooth.